Hi everyone, this is Shiraz and I am the head of marketing at IntellicoWorks. IntellicoWorks is a DevOps consulting company that provides DevOps, SecOps, and DataOps services. We are also the partner consultants for AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud Platform services. We are providing our services to one of the biggest names around the globe, and that is specifically in different industrial segmentations, which is gaming, healthcare, fintech, supply chain, and many more. Today, we are here for a special AI web series. We are coming up with more episodes, and this series will include multiple episodes that will introduce artificial intelligence to you from the start to the finish. And for today, we have a very special guest with us, Shahzad Masud, who is an industrial professionalist for the DevOps domain, having 20 years of experience in this domain and served in multiple profound organizations around the globe. So please welcome Shahzad Masud. Welcome, Shahzad.
Thank you so much.
So Shahzad, first of all, we will start with the introduction that DevOps is kind of a very complex domain, and we are moving towards a more complex domain that is artificial intelligence, and that is quite trending nowadays. So, but first thing is that we want to introduce yourself to our audience. That how your journey was started 20 years back, and for which organizations that you have worked for, and how you shifted your course of career towards the artificial intelligence.
Thank you so much for having me here. My name is Shahzad Masud, and working industry for the past 20 years or so. I have enjoyed all the roles, all different roles, from software engineer to head of delivery as well, head of digital transformation as well. Started my journey with the software engineering field, and now I'm actually heading off the operations staff. So software engineering is a pretty interesting field. Software development is a pretty interesting field. But now everything boils down to the operations. So I'm actually heading DevOps operations.
Yeah. We started off with your journey. It was started 20 years back. But we want to know that, the organization that you have worked for, you started off with software engineering and now handling the operations team. So, where the idea clicked for the artificial intelligence and how the idea of IntellicoWorks started and formed.
Actually, I've worked with very big names in the organization, in the industry. I have worked with Morgan Stanley. I have worked with NetSol Technologies, worked with I2C. I worked with Northwest Solutions. So all the big companies actually are transformed from software engineering to the DevOps operations. And the next big thing is the artificial intelligence. It's a fundamental change in the entire industry. From the engineering perspective, from the software perspective, it's actually being emerging all the way around.
And how the idea of IntellicoWorks formed.
IntellicoWorks is something that is a brainchild of my friend, my mentor, and one of my very close friend at Viable Technologies, Anjum, as we actually work together along with many dedicated professionals like you, like everyone. So we will actually invest a lot of time in there. And this is kind of our journey for the operations world, for the intelligent operational work. So that's where this child actually born.
All right. Coming towards, very quickly towards the artificial intelligence. The first episode is about the rise of artificial intelligence. We will talk about the fundamentals of artificial intelligence. But first thing that, we talked about artificial intelligence so many years back as well. But we saw that, around 2 to 3 years back, the concept actually got so much hype. So, can you tell us some brief that, what exactly the rise of artificial intelligence is?
Artificial intelligence was actually in the market or in the field 10, 15 years ago as well. So it was majorly focused towards engineering, towards the process automation, towards engineering. But no one actually thought about using that one in the software industry. So software industry is a very progressive industry, very fast changing, very progressive industry. So if we actually use artificial intelligence inside software industry, it would be complete paradigm shift. So this paradigm shift with development, deployment, operations, maintenance, right sizing, and all the things that are involved with the artificial intelligence along with improvisation of the software industry. And this is kind of a game changer. So a generative progressive one is recently adopted in the market as well. Recently, you have heard of that.
Absolutely. And One more thing that I want to add here, that as so many people absolutely know about artificial intelligence, but there's a lot of people around the globe that that actually don't know about the artificial intelligence. So could you please tell us in a brief line that what artificial intelligence is? For example, I'm a layman, so how would you define artificial intelligence to me?
Okay, so in a simple terminology, if I define artificial intelligence as one branch of computer sciences, this branch of computer sciences actually deals with all the repetitive tasks. So whatever repetitive tasks you wanted to perform, a computer can perform it for you. But this is a simple program, right? So if you want to perform it with a precision, with a generative progressive model, with most of the programming techniques everyone actually had adopted in previously, and you wanted to perform in that, that's called artificial intelligence. It's not like thinking something new, but it's already a repetitive task happening in a software life cycle, same development, same deployment, same progression to the production and to end users, same user experience. Everything actually is there is part of artificial intelligence.
Okay, so we talked about what artificial intelligence is, the rise of artificial intelligence. But I think our audience want to know that what are the fundamentals of artificial intelligence? What exactly in it? So could you please describe some fundamentals, on the basis of our audience can understand it more better?
Okay, so if I define artificial intelligence into simple factors, so artificial intelligence comprises of four different things. One is artificial intelligence focuses on capability of performing repetitive tasks. Second one is the learning of the data, which is called machine learning. It's kind of also referred as heart of the AI. Third one is the natural language processing. We are speaking in a natural way, and our computers understand that natural way of speaking and then grab the data from it. And the last one is the computer vision. Computer vision is totally different from anything. Interpret, understand, generate, progress, understand the context and everything, which is the current modern era right now.
I would like to say this thing for our audience that we have four major fundamentals of artificial intelligence. The first one is the repetitive artificial intelligence. The second one is the machine learning. The third one is natural language processing, and the fourth one is computer vision. So let's further dig down it. That first thing is repetitive artificial intelligence. So could you please brief it further?
Yeah. So repetitive artificial intelligence deal with all the repetitive tasks where a little bit of intelligence or a little bit of a decision tree is required. So for example, you want to simply deploy your code inside an application or inside a machine. So no further intelligence required, but a little bit of intelligence is required, right? So this is a repetitive task. Repetitive task, whenever someone actually pushes the code inside the repository, it has to deploy the code. So this is the first basic level of intelligence where you are actually doing a repetitive task, but with the accuracy.
Yeah.
You have to supply username, you have to supply password, you have to supply secret keys, you have to supply different ingredients in there, and then the task will be performed with the 100% accuracy and totally deployed the application on the production.
Yeah.
This is the basic form of artificial intelligence.
So repetition is there, but we actually required some of the intelligence to make it more accurate, right?
So to make it more accurate, like solving a problem that cannot be solved very easily with humans. So it can be solved with humans. So human requires like 15 minutes of time to actually deploy the same application. However, this AI intelligent deploy can deploy this application within like 1 or 2 minutes maybe.
Wow, that's wonderful. That's so basically we are shorten up the time by around
and the accuracy as well.
Accuracy as well.
And if you wanted to deploy on 200, 300, 500 machines simultaneously, bingo. So it will actually deploy with 100% accuracy, all the machines without actually a zero time.
So efficiency gets risen by up to 200%.
Correct.
Wonderful.
With the perception, with the language understanding, with the reckoning, with the learning of everything, you just have to define a basic model out of that one, and it can actually do the job for you. And deployment is just one example of artificial intelligence. There are many repetitive-oriented tasks that are available that can be done with this branch of artificial intelligence.
Okay, that was quite interesting. And coming towards the second fundamental, that is machine learning. And I would say, most of the people heard about artificial intelligence, but machine learning is a very different concept, a different word for most of the people. And it's also known as the heart of AI. So, tell us about something about the machine learning. How would you brief it?
Okay, machine learning is considered to be the heart of the AI because of the reason that it actually helps you predict the future. It's not actually the real prediction, but it's based on the data that you actually provide to it. Like a car performance, that how it performs in past, and it can tell you how much average that the car actually have. How that is being calculated based on the previous data. How a deployment has to be done, that's based on the previous data. How a particular task has been performed based on the previous data. And then based on that, it actually predicts that this work or task can perform within this. This car can have an average of 35 kilometers per gallon. So this is kind of that. So based on the previous history data, you ingest into a particular model, particular algorithm, and that predicts you the performance of that particular application.
Wonderful. So we can say that, it is actually the analysis of the data, and based on that data, we predict and forecast the things that, we can come up with different things like, and that is based on the different industrial segmentations as well. So we can talk about the automotive, supply chain. So the use case can be different for machine learning with respect to the industry.
With respect to all the industries, the use case can be different, but it's all about learning from the data and then analyzing what can be done.
We can say that, in the past, we have driven results, but that were not so much accurate. And now we are talking about AI, machine learning, and we have firm predictive analysis for the upcoming things for our future. So that is pretty nice to know. And the third fundamental, that is natural language processing, NLP. So, I assume that, most of the people hearing this kind of terms for the first time, but this is very interesting to know, and getting into the AI part. So the third thing is NLP, natural language processing. So tell us about that.
Natural language processing is the kind of a fundamental or very important branch of AI that translate the text, a regular text that we actually speak amongst us, from humans to computers. So computers can understand that what we are saying. So it's a translation between us, and that can be done in many ways. We actually speak or say anything without sentiments or with sentiments. So computer do understand the sentiments as well. So this is also used for the sentiment analysis. I ask question from you, you ask question from me. So how to figure out which one is the question and which one is the answer, this is also part of the natural language processing. And the third one is the language interpretation. It's a paraphrase can have a different meaning in one language, it can have a different meaning in another language. So computer do understand that. So this part of artificial intelligence actually depicts the meaning of the same paraphrase for different languages if you are actually setting the context over there.
I think one very interesting concept comes here in my mind that, we, every person talks about artificial intelligence, and we mostly knew that computers don't understand the sentiments. So that's where, you talked about that it does.
It does.
And, depending upon the conversation you're having with the computer, it actually gets the meaning based on the sentiments that you are delivering to a computer, right? So that is very interesting that, it actually gets the sentiments of the people by having the conversation or the words that you are having with the computer. So that is actually, what we have in the natural language processing,
Exactly.
right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. And coming on to the fourth fundamental, I would honestly say, this term, is the most interesting term in the AI part. That is computer vision. So, that is quite different, and, that, build so much interest for me as well as for our audience as well. So, talking about the computer vision part, what would you say about it?
A computer vision actually involves in interpreting images, videos, voices to computer that this is this person and that person. For example, if you want to make an attendance application, looking at you, it will recognize that this is Shiraz Iqbal, and looking at me, it will say Shahzad Masud, and there's a car coming. There is a place for the car. There is a place for other things. There is a place for the object. That this is a car. This is a vehicle. This is something else. So this is kind of a vision-oriented artificial intelligence. So
Okay.
cameras will interpret, analyze that this is the guy, and how you do that. Face unlock. This is the computer vision terminology, where people actually do their unlocking using their face. Yeah. So this is that particular branch, and there's a lot of advancement actually happening in this branch as well.
I would simplify it further that, talking about the face recognition for the phone unlock. You unlock your phone with the face recognition. So that is, the part of computer vision. And we can also give one example to our audience as well that, there is so many systems that is the retina recognition on the airports. So that is also the part of the computer vision, right? Okay, so I want to ask you that thing that I think this is the part that I think came into existence for I think quite years back, like we can say 5 to 10 years back.
Yes.
And it's been in the place.
Yes.
So it's one of the oldest things in the artificial intelligence that we have already placed in the market, right?
Yes. But the current trend right now, which is actually in the market most of the time, is a generative progressive one. Is the biggest hype, ChatGPT.
Yeah.
GPT is a generative progressive one. This is part of all the 3-4 elements combined together, and they actually created a model called generative progressive transformer. And that is currently understanding the natural language processing as well, understanding the sentiment as well, understanding what the guys are actually asking, feeding in all the data from the entire cloud or entire internet space, and then transforming and responding back to you in a very appropriate way.
Wonderful. And I think we came onto the term of chat GPT as well, but for our audience that we will have a separate episode entirely on the chat GPT as well. So you will get to know about the chat GPT in a full and detailed manner as well. Okay, Shahzad, the next thing is very important for our audience to understand the concept of software engineering and software development. Most of the people knew that these are the same things, but I want you to elaborate and differentiate between these terms, what software engineering and what software development is.
Different people actually differentiate in a very different way, but let me give you my definition for the software development and software engineering. Software development is all about fulfilling your requirements and transforming into a software. That's it.
Okay.
It starts running. Software engineering deals with almost all the aspects. Defining the requirement, taking the requirements on, creating a business requirement document out of that one, then start the development, then start the deployment, then start pushing it into the production, showing it to the user and customer actually come back to you with a complaint. Performance is not okay, security is not okay, where we have to marginalize after 6 months or 1 year, data is actually ever growing with all the aspects. So software development only deals with smaller part. However, software engineering actually is a bigger chunk of the challenge. Software engineering deals with the management stuff as well, management of the entire platform and management of the entire software solution.
So basically, software engineering is a complete life cycle, we can say.
Yes.
And software development is turning your idea into some sort of application or software, right?
Yes.
So why I ask you this question, the difference between the software development and software engineering, because we wanted to build a relevancy between the AI and software engineering. So tell us about that part of relevancy between AI and software engineering.
AI actually is an integral part of the entire software engineering, because if you want to go for the software engineering, you always need an automation and efficiency, and AI can provide you that. You need an enhanced decision making on different phases of software development. You need a faster deployment time. You need a faster testing. You need a faster response time. You need a faster performance. AI can help you with that. User experience cannot be done with the regular software development, and you can actually do that with this one as well. Personalization and user experience, you can actually do that. Security, artificial intelligence can actually help you with improved security models, improved security aspects, improved security things, and other aspects as well. So the last and the very important one, testing, quality assurance and testing. Quality assurance and testing is something which cannot be done like in a day or so. It has to be repeated on every release. If you're releasing on a daily basis, you have to perform all the tests. So artificial intelligence actually can test the entire module, entire application, and keep on learning that part as well. That if there is a new thing comes up, add it to the bucket. If there is another new thing comes up, add it to the bucket and keep on running the test using the artificial intelligence tests as well.
How would you summarize the episode of today?
I would summarize in a very simple way that artificial intelligence has a very, very deep impact on the entire software industry. I would say that more than any other place, more than any other engineering field, software engineering has a lot more impact and a lot more productivity with this one. Because we have lots of data for the machine learning part as well. We have lots of data for the segmentation analysis for other things as well. We have lots of data for how to deploy on things. We have lots of data how to secure things. And for future, we need a lot more accuracy, lot more performance, lot more automation. So that's why artificial intelligence will really help us with that. So in this series, we will actually help everyone how these things can happen.
Wonderful, wonderful, and thank you so much, Shahzad, for your time and for clarifying all the basic things of artificial intelligence in the first episode. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Yeah.
So that was it from the first episode of AI Learning web series of IntellicoWorks. In the first episode, we have covered the rise of artificial intelligence, the fundamentals of artificial intelligence, and how AI is relevant in the field of software engineering. So we tried to lift up ourselves from the ground zero, from the ground level, and to understand the artificial intelligence from the very basic level. So, and more episodes will be coming up, and we will learn artificial intelligence in more deeper way. Thank you so much for staying with us, and stay tuned for the next episode as well.